For the first time in at least 5 years, Charlotte city leaders are calling for a 1.5-cent property tax increase.
Yeah, it's part of the city manager's $4.2 billion proposed budget. And if it passes, the average homeowner would pay about $54 more per year. City leaders will vote on the budget in June, but they're also hoping to put a big bond issue on the ballot where you'll get a say.
And our Mary Calkins is live outside the Government Center in Uptown Charlotte with more on this. Mary?
That's right, John and Naya. During last night's city council meeting, manager Marcus Jones says he wants to put this $400 million bond referendum up to the voters. Now, that would allow the city to double the money in the Housing Trust Fund from $50 to $100 million. It's been a hugely successful program that provides money to developers who set aside a portion or all of their units for lower income residents. It would also increase money for the Corridor of Opportunities program. Those are 6 areas of the city that have traditionally been underserved in terms of businesses, housing, and transportation. Now, there's also money for transportation projects, including an additional $20 million for Vision Zero, which aims to eliminate traffic deaths, and money to build more sidewalks, install safer crossings, and other improvements. Now, the city would need approval from lawmakers in Raleigh in order to get this referendum onto the ballot. And as for the budget, there's a public hearing happening next week, and city council members, they're going to take a final vote in June. Reporting live in Uptown Charlotte, Mary Calkins, WBTV on your side.